Hello and welcome to this heart opening yin practice. So when you are ready, get your blankets, get your bolsters, get your bricks, get your cushions, get everything. And I want you to lie down all the way down into corpse pose or pentacle. You might want to prop yourself up, throw your blanket on, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then we will begin a loving kindness meditation. So I want you to begin to notice what's present in your body, in your environment. Start to breathe, start to relax, start to let go, and start to notice how your body accommodates each breath. Start to settle into its natural, easy flow. And turn to focus in towards your heart and imagine your beating heart full of gratitude, full of warmth. And I want you to think of a person who you really love unconditionally, accept you for who you are. And I want you to experience their loving kindness as if they were right next to you, lying in corpse pose or pentacle. I want you to feel happy, I want you to feel grateful, and I want you to notice how you are feeling. Notice the body, notice the mind. Relax into this warmth, this feeling of connection. Allow thoughts to arise, to evaporate, to come, to go. And I want you to put this loving kindness and warmth that you are receiving right now into words. And maybe these words of this person or whoever you have called to your mind, picture them for a moment. And then I want you to repeat after me silently in your mind. Savor each word. Feel their ability to feel warmth and hugs and love and everything around you. May I be held in loving kindness. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy in my body and in my mind. May I always have enough, and may my heart always know peace. Now bring to mind someone that you know casually, someone you may recognize, someone you don't have much feelings for, but you know them well enough. I want you to repeat the same words and imagine that they receive the full benefit of them. Imagine that your wishes touch them, their hearts, their minds, and maybe fill them with ease. So say, may you be held in loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy in body and mind. And may you have enough. And may your heart always know peace. Now imagine someone that you really don't care for. Think of this person, or you may think that they don't deserve to have any of your love. But I want you to take your mind's eye, try and let go of that dislike for them, and I want you to try and direct some love towards them. Appreciate the words, and I want you to try and fill them with your hugs, your love, and anything that can go their way. May you have some loving and kindness. May you be happy, healthy, in the body and in the mind. May you be loved, and may you have enough. Finally, include as many people as you can. Visualize everyone that matters to you. Awareness of all presence of all of these beings who share all of your life. May you be held in loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy in body and mind. May you always have enough. May your heart know peace. And while that heart is beating full of love for all the people that matter, who maybe don't matter, I want you to visualize the color green. This green is associated with the heart chakra. It may be an iconic green color like grass, an apple, whatever it is. On the inhalation, notice how it expands and grows back brighter. And as you exhale, it shines even brighter. This is going to be our beacon throughout our practice today. Open your heart. Open it to everything and anything around you. All emotions are valid. Accept love. Accept experience of the fullness of life. Allow yourself to be deep in each moment. Take a moment to be here as you are, to breathe deep. I wish you all a beautiful practice today. Honor your bodies. Modify, prop up, or do whatever you need to do to become comfortable. I do have my timer here. We will be moving from 2 to 4 minutes in each posture. And always remember, 1 minute to the next, the posture changes. So prop up as much as you need to. Move the props when you need to if you want to feel more. But allow yourself to accept each posture as it is. When you're ready, from your Shavasana or pentacle, maybe move the bolster aside. Have a full body stretch and a yawn. Oh, well done. So our first posture is going to be banana asana, one of the most favorite postures to do. So allow yourself just to settle in, move your hair out the way like I have just done. Okay, move your right leg to the right side of the mat and cross the left foot over the top. Do not let the hip lift, keep the hip as it is. You could always place a blanket underneath the head, but don't let any compression of the neck to be here. You can, of course, have your bolster above you or overhead if you would like to, just to be there to catch you if you need. Okay, so you can take opposite elbows and take the hands over your head, and we can lean over to your right side like a banana. Now I'm resting my arms on the bolster. This is a great place to be propped up. Again, you do not have to have the bolster underneath you. We're going to close the eyes and we're going to stretch in towards our banana. Now the wonderful thing about this pose, as I start our timer, is with the arms overhead, we're stretching into the heart and the lung meridians. You can maybe get down in towards the side body. And remember, when we practice yin, it's about finding the stillness within. Don't let the mind wander. What you want to do is find stillness in the physical body, maybe in the mental body as well. But if you feel that you need an attachment or an anchor, use the breath. Notice the inhales. Notice the exhales. One more minute here, relaxing in towards the pose. Now remember, yin is all about targeting the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the bones. So really relax. Allow the floor and the bolsters, the bricks and everything to take the weight. Soften, ease and release. Good. very gently from here, come back to neutral. You might want to move the bolster out for a second. Now you may have noticed which arm was on the top. For me, it was right on the top. You might want to switch over arms, but we walk the left leg over to the side and put the right leg over the left. Don't let the hip lift, remember, we want to keep it all grounded. Resetting our timer, other arm on the top, creating that lovely C shape over to the opposite side. Now, like I said, I have used the bolster here to support my arms. Now, with that support, it's going to help my shoulders. I have really bad right shoulder, which tends to pop out occasionally. So I do always need that support and help wherever I can. So just breathing into your body, allowing your body to rest within the stillness. So when you're in this position, allowing the breath to enter in and out, think about that meditation that we have just done. Love and kindness. And I want to practice that here on your mat. Love and kindness for yourself, for the body, for how you are feeling right now. Good. Slowly coming out of the pose, moving your bolster, bringing the arms down beside you, allowing yourself just to relax in towards this counter pose. Again, making sure that your neck is not compressed, your head can relax. You can allow yourself to fully ease into this corpse pose or pentacle. Good. Now just slowly easing yourself, maybe rolling to a side so you can bring yourself to the side of the mat, then bring yourself gently up to seat. Good. Okay, so moving in towards our next pose, we will be working our subscapularis muscle. Not commonly always practiced in Yin, but there's something I wanted to offer because it's heart opening. We can start to release the areas around it. So if you just raise the arms up, and you can notice the muscle just underneath the shoulder blade. There's a nice squidgy little bit here, and if you press it, it might ache ever so. Now that's okay. There's a few things that we can do with this pose. Okay, let's roll onto our right side, and I want you to have your brick handy and maybe the bolster, depending if the brick might be too much. You can have the brick flat. You can be aiming to use the little side of the brick. You can have it on a medium side as well. Again, just where that little meaty part is, the sweet spot if we're working with the Chinese medicine system. Now I'm going to use the brick first. Going to bring myself down to my forearm and then lower myself down onto a sweet spot. For me, I can feel this straight away. It really targeting that subscapularis muscle. Now you have the options to stay here. If that is too much using the brick, you can always place a blanket on the top, or go for more of a gentle version using your cushion or your bolster. And again, legs could be bent, I don't mind, or they can be straight. Again, whatever works for you. Now, take your pick. Make sure it's either the bolster or the brick. But when you're ready, settle in towards this position. Allow the weight of your body to rest. Close the eyes and breathe. Finding that sweet spot. The one thing I want you to make sure of is throughout our practice, whenever you get pins and needles, I want you to back away. This will be compression of nerves, so lessening or propping up just that little bit more to ensure that you are comfortable, okay? And that's the main thing, be comfortable. If your hair is not in the right place, change it. If the block or the bolster is not in the right place, change it. Allowing yourself to relax in towards the postures. Now with this posture, it's a great one because you could always, if you wanted to, take the arm overhead, very similar to the banana asana we did, but it's just supported in a very different way. I'm going to stay as we are. We have 30 more seconds on this side. Good. Slowly bring yourself up, and you might want to give that little muscle, a shoulder, a little bit of easing. Now, like I said, this isn't the most common yin posture, but it's one I really like when I'm doing a heart opener. Okay, so we're going to switch to the other side. So maybe just swinging your legs aside, bringing your bolster. Now, whatever you did on the one side, remember we have to do it on the other side. Okay, so when you're ready, bringing yourself over. I like to bring myself onto that elbow, onto that muscle, and again, finding that comfort zone, and then we will start our practice now. You can close the eyes. And again, start to think about releasing, letting go. Open the heart, opening for what is, what's around. What more can you do to fill it with love and positiveness? The natural breath moves in and out. We have one more minute on this side. So the one thing to remember in Yin, it's about the quiet, it's about the stillness, it's about the ease. And that's not always easily done. Sitting in silence can be difficult. People's minds begin to wander, which is why I want you to think, what is it you can do to have a little bit more love, a little bit more ease within your life? 30 more seconds here. Good. Slowly bring yourself back up, giving yourself that nice little ease, bit of a shoulder roll. Beautiful. So we're going to be moving in toward our next posture. So our next posture is the melting heart, Anahatasana. Now there's a few ways that we can do this pose. We can use a bolster, we can use bricks, we can use whatever you need to do. You can even use the wall if needed. I'm going to show you the posture without any props. Again, this will be your choice of how it suits you. So coming to 4-point kneeling, then walking your hands out in front of you. Toes can be tucked to allow the free flow of chi, and you can surrender the chest, the heart and the head, keeping the hips over the knees. This is a great place to be. If you have any shoulder injury or anything, we can do a half. So that would just be bending one elbow and resting your head on that forearm. And this is a great place to start. If you would like to prop up, you can always bring the chest onto, or even the arms onto the bolster and rest here. You can, of course, take it further so the actual chest is supported here and you can rest yourself. This is another place to be. Or you could always bring the bolster underneath you and have your chest supported here. I'm going to use the bricks, and I'm going to use it in just a very different way. Bringing the bricks out in front of me. And I'm going to bring my elbows on top of the bricks. I'm going to bring my palms together. And I'm going to bring the arms over my head. I'm going to be breathing here, allowing my body to rest in toward this position. So whatever you have chosen, getting into that pose and starting to breathe as the timer starts now. Opening the heart, the shoulders, the back. What more can you invite in to allow the heart to open? So again, working with the heart and lung meridians with the arms. Two more minutes to go. If you ever get those pins and needles, again, come out of the posture, lessen it, allow yourself to ease. And I felt that myself now. So I'm coming out, releasing the blocks, and just lessening the arms. Very good. Start to come out of the pose, moving any blocks, moving any props out the way. Come back to tabletop. I want you just to have a nice easy movement of cat-cow, lowering the belly, open the heart, bring it underneath. So just a little bit of movement throughout the yin practice, just allowing yourself to ease. You could have a little free movement within the shoulders as well. Wonderful. So moving in towards our next posture, we're going to be moving in towards our child's pose. One of my favorite postures. And again, you'll find this pose more for counter posing, but also a lovely rest. Okay, so you could always use the blanket underneath the feet or rolled up underneath the knees, especially if child's pose isn't comfortable. I like a wide-legged child's pose. The arms can be around. You can have the bolster between the legs, and you could even use your bricks to raise it up ever so slightly if it's uncomfortable to go all the way down towards the floor. We are stretching out through the feet. We are also having that compression in the stomach, working the spleen, working the stomach. So it's a really lovely posture. So again, option to rest like I am, comfortably here. And that's again, if you've got, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you have you need to have some space for that belly, that always works. The wider the legs, maybe the more comfort you might find. Moving my bricks out of the way. I'm actually not going to use my bolster today. I'm only going to use a brick underneath my head, and I'm going to allow myself just to rest here. I'm giving us this child's pose here before we tackle some more heart opening postures. So we'll be moving into fishes, into bridges. So this would normally or most commonly be our counter pose. But I think for now it's a great rest place to be. Connecting back with our breath. Try to soften the face. And when you practice yin, there's so many ways that you can practice it. You can find stillness and quietness and just set the posture up and be still and quiet. Or you could be guided a little more with what to expect, what to feel, how to prop. You can find more about meridians and how that relates to the Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. You could have the chakra relations. You could work with different crystals. Again, so many ways that you can practice yin. One more breath here before we start to bring ourselves up. Good. Slowly easing. Maybe take the arms behind you. Good. Okay. So moving swiftly into more of our heart opening style, we're going to come into fish, but we're going to do this very differently because I'd like the hips to open at the same time. So what I'd like you to do, there's a few ways that we can do this. You could have the bricks, one to support the back of the head, one to support underneath the shoulders. I would like you to have your strap handy as well. And when you do have your strap handy, I'd like you to have a loop. Again, if you don't have a strap, this is fine. You don't have to have it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to place my bricks in a T shape, and I'm going to get my bolster and place my bolster on top. I find this really comforting, really heart opening. Then I'd like you to place your strap all the way around you, and I'd like you to bring it quite close towards your sacrum, as well as you guide yourself back in towards your bolster. Make sure the metal buckle bit isn't too far away from you, and you're going to hook the rest of it around the feet. Pull the strap so it becomes tight. Okay? Right in towards the sacrum, that lower back. You might want to pull the feet in a bit closer, depending on you. Now, if hips feel too tight, of course you can always bring blocks, cushions, anything underneath you, or lose the strap completely. Beautiful. And what I'd like you to do is lower yourself down in toward your mat. Get your head resting. Remember that comfort about the hair and the head really is important. Arms away from the body. Allow the heart to be lifted up towards the ceiling. Close down the eyes and receive the energy here. That loving kindness. Everything that you deserve. And you may want to again focus on that color green. Swirling ball right in the center of your chest. As you inhale, it grows a little darker, a little brighter in color. And as you exhale, maybe it starts to beam. What do you see? What can you vision? If it's nothing, that's okay. If you're just allowing yourself to be here as it is, that's fine. But you got another whole minute and a half to go. Your hips are opening, which can allow you to release some emotions. The heart is opening. The shoulders are being supported by the bolster here, so you can really allow them to melt, open up across that collarbone, receiving all the energy. Good. Slowly bringing yourself up, chin to chest. Use your hands to bring you up. Moving the strap off first, putting that aside, stretching your legs. Maybe have a nice little bit of a windscreen wipe for now. Beautiful. Okay, keep your bolster handy, keep your bricks handy as we roll down. Roll down onto your back, maybe keep the knees bent for now. Just have a reset for a moment. Again, this could be in pentacle or you can stay as you are. For the next pose, it's going to be supported bridge. I find this posture incredible. Again, opening up through the heart, supported sacrum, releasing of the pelvic floor. It's beautiful. Okay, so bend the knees. Make sure the knees are over the ankles and the feet could be pointing towards your end of your mat. Now, you could have your bolster or your brick. I'm going to demonstrate with the bolster first. Pressing into the feet, sliding your bolster underneath your sacrum so you are supported here. Again, moving your hair out the way, make sure there's no compression in your neck. It's very important. And this might be where you stay. Arms can be on the body, away from the body. I don't mind. What matters is you are comfortable. So that is one way. Another way is grabbing your brick. Now I actually like to have both my bricks. So first of all, I'll show you, you can have it on the small, medium or high. Again, right in the sacrum, so that fused triangular bit of your pelvis. So you can always just slide a brick underneath, again, finding what suits you. I find the highest variation or highest side of the block is too much. So I'm gonna have one brick flat and the other brick on a medium, and then sliding that again underneath my sacrum, allowing myself to position myself in towards our pose and starting our timer now. Relax the shoulder, relax the face, allow the whole body just to sink in towards the support it has. And remembering that support system doesn't just have to happen on the mat with your props. You've got that support system around you. So if you ever need it, reach out for it. There are always loved ones around who are willing to listen. So maybe it's that time on the mat that you realize that you need more people in your life that have that positive feel. You could think of them now as we rest, or you could tap into your breath. Remembering it's okay to be still and be quiet. You can let that quietness go in toward the mind. But while we're in this bridge pose, we are tackling our kidneys, our bladders. There's even more that you can focus on here if you're working with TCM. Good, last minute to go. Wonderful. You may want to just start to ease a little. Press into the feet. Slowly lift yourself up and off of the props, lowering down very carefully. Just take a moment here, allowing your body just to settle in its natural position. And a counter pose that I like to do when I've got back bends is bring the soles of my feet together, let my knees drop out. So think sleeping butterfly. But take the hands to the outside of the thighs, press away, flare the ribs, have a little decompression of the spine. So if you can imagine if you were hanging upside down, the spine just has that little bit of an ease and a release. Lovely. Gently release, take the feet nice and wide, and let's have a simple little windscreen wipe. So we're going to counter pose all of our back bending, all of our heart opening, closing the heart off, coming in towards one of our last positions, which would be caterpillar. Rolling to a side, bringing yourself up towards a seat. Okay. So coming to a seat, now what I would like you to do is stretch your legs out in front of you. You may want to sit on a pillow, something that's going to give you that little bit of a tilt in the pelvis. Because what has happened in our lives, we sit on couches, we drive, the tailbone comes underneath, we have a rounded spine. I don't want that for you. I'd like you to really sit on top of those sit bones as much as you can. I like to have a little bit of space between my legs, and then you can grab your bolster and place your bolster out in front of you. You can grab your bricks here, getting our timer ready. And again, you could use your bricks however you want to. Now, one thing I've realized in my classes is that we do have a lot of tightness in our lower backs, hamstrings. So I've actually made like a little pillar with my bolsters and my bricks, and you could bring yourself down to rest because your head is really heavy. So with time, you could start here and then move your bolster, move your bricks and everything out of the way. If this doesn't work for you, of course, you could always bring the bolster underneath the knees and then even bring your bricks out in front of you. This is another way that you could be. Lots of choices. Again, if none of that is working for you, you could lie down, throw your legs up at the wall and do a different variation. So when you're ready, picking what feels good for you, I'm going to start here. I'm going to put our timer on and we're just going to close our hearts off. Breathing in towards your back body, feeling the expansion, feeling the release. Working in towards our urinary bladder, again, maybe a little compression in towards the stomach. Allowing ourselves just to ease. You could even take the hands behind the head. There's so many options and so many choices to do. Now, some people like to practice yin without props. Adding props, I think, makes the posture become accessible, makes it achievable. Yes, it might make it a little more restorative at times, but props don't always make it easy. Props can sometimes make postures a little more difficult. Again, be open-minded. We use props to help us, to support us. Finding the stillness, connecting to your breath, softening, easing, releasing. Good. Last 30 seconds here. Wonderful. Slowly coming up and out, putting a stop onto our timer. You may want to keep the bolster as you are, but I'm going to roll it back a little more. You might want to grab some socks, grab your blankets, grab anything that you want, but get yourself wrapped up and warm. Lay all the way back. Let's find our pentacle. Move the hair if you need to one more time. Arms on the body, arms away from the body. Close down the eyes. Allow yourself to ease into this final pose. Letting go of the back bends, the heart openers. There are so many ways that you can sequence a heart opening. It doesn't just have to be with cobras or sphinxes. We did bridges and fishes, puppy poses or anahatasanas, bananas, subscapularis release. Some lovely interesting ways of tackling the meridians of the heart lines. Everything is linked. And as you lay here, allow yourself to soften. Close down the eyes if the eyes aren't closed. Soften the face, soften the jaw. Shoulders release, the arms are heavy. Notice the back body pressing in toward the mat. Maybe you notice the sacrum, where the knees have met the bolster and the heels meet the floor. Your body is heavy. it's comfortable. It is in the mood to receive any information that it has got from its practice today. We are accepting, we are open, we are loved. I invite you to stay here as long as you want. You do not have to get up at all. You could just let the video play until you are ready to get up. But if you want to, you could start to roll the bolster away. Roll to a side and stay on the side for a moment. And you could always bring yourself up if you want to, but you do not have to. Wherever you're finishing, on your back, on your side, or on your seat, mentally or physically, you could draw hands to heart centers. Thank your bodies, and I thank you for always letting me be your guide.